Coming up on Mountain News at 6, with some students returning to classes today, one county is using the test to stay option to keep kids in school amid skyrocketing Omicron cases. And it took a while, but many saw the first snow on the ground of the season today. We'll get an update from road crews.
And chilly weather returns today as a cold air mass works in. I'll have the latest on how long it all sticks around coming up right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
With schools across the Commonwealth enforcing various COVID-19 protocols, one Eastern Kentucky district is adopting a new way to keep students safe while also keeping them in the classroom. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to Johnson County school officials on utilizing the new test to stay option.
January 3rd marks the first day back after winter break for students, faculty, and staff of Johnson County schools. But it also marked the first day for another COVID-19 precaution.
Well, I think it's a step in the right direction.
The Johnson County School District is adopting a test to stay option for students, which allows any students who are recently exposed to COVID-19 to test for the virus as opposed to being quarantined.
We see this as a service that we can provide to parents. The one thing that we've definitely learned through the pandemic is that students learn better in face-to-face instruction.
Those who are exposed and test negative will continue being tested periodically during the 10-day period rather than being quarantined.
By having a program like this, it does give us a much better opportunity to hopefully not be in a situation where we would ever have to call school off this school year.
Sean Hall, Johnson County Middle School principal and parent, says he is happy that his students and his child will have the option to stay in school.
So many students are going through social and emotional distress situations that I think the only way to get that back on track is to be some consistency and some regularities in their lives, routines, and school can provide that.
Helping to keep students safe while also keeping them in the classroom. In Johnson County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Johnson County Assistant Superintendent Noel Crum says Johnson County schools are taking a multifaceted approach to the pandemic, so the test to stay option is just another tool to add to their arsenal. While some students are using the test to stay option, others are having to go to COVID-19 testing locations. Those locations are seeing a huge increase in testing lately, with long lines being reported in some areas. Several school district officials say they are working with local health departments to monitor COVID numbers in teachers, staff, and students. And here's why. The Commonwealth's COVID positivity rate has reached more than 20% now, the highest it's ever been. The state reported 4,111 new cases today, bringing our case total to 879,057 since the pandemic began. There were 15 new deaths as well, putting the Commonwealth's death toll now at 12,334. The positivity rate is close to 21% at 20.72%. You can always find the latest COVID information on our website at WYMT.com. State troopers need help locating a trailer. Take a look at your screen. During the past weekend, a trailer was stolen from Belfry High School. That's what it looks like. There is possible damage to the passenger side of the trailer. Anyone with information is asked to call police, and you can remain anonymous.
It remains a chilly one around the mountains today. Of course, we started off with the snowfall around the area, and even this hour you can still see it on some of our cameras. I-75 camera at London, you can actually see some of the snowfall still on the side of the roadway there and the grassy surfaces. Of course, roads are fine right now. Those will continue to be the case. We've had plenty of time to dry out during the day today. US 119 at Pine Mountain at this hour. You can see the same thing. Plenty of snow on those roadways, or at least just to the side of the roadways. Roadways themselves are fine and have been for much of the day once we got some of that snow on out of here. Upper 20s, low 30s right now. as we continue around the region. It's a chilly one out there. Satellite and radar showing the last of that cloud cover continuing to move out, and that's actually impressive for our forecast, or at least essential, because it means we're going to continue to see temperatures tumble during the overnight hours. We're near 20 an overnight low tonight as we clear out with calm winds, allowing temperatures to drop, and even some spots could get into the upper teens for later on tonight. I'll have the details on just how long the cold weather sticks around and when we could see a little bit more wintry action coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you very much. And as you can see there at the bottom of your screen, already a few schools that will remain closed or delayed tomorrow or on NTI because of the wintry weather. Well, this was the first taste of snowy conditions for many of us this season. And road crews say they were well prepared for Mother Nature. WYMT's Dakota Makris explains how crews kept drivers safe in Letcher County.
It's certainly a morning to start your car because, well, there's probably snow on it. As people warmed up their cars Monday morning, road crews were hard at work making sure roads were clear.
We went from one mode of 60 and 70-degree weather with water all over the place to 30-degree weather with snow clouds.
With state and county crews working on higher elevations like US 119 up on Pine Mountain, where roads were covered with snow at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Temperature didn't get as cold as I expected it to, and that let the snow melt as it hit the roads.
Everyone involved saying their plows were ready to go to work as the snow began to fall.
Most of all of the roads have been cleared. They're just monitoring bridges and overpasses right now to make sure that they're not having any ice build up on them.
Road crews making sure they prevent roads from freezing overnight.
To cross bridges and overpasses, that you are very cautious. Don't do any quick braking, quick movements.
And reminding drivers to give plows room as they work. In Letcher County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Letcher County Judge Executive Terry Adams told us his crews did not run into any major issues this morning. Another tornado has been confirmed from Saturday's severe storms. At this time it was in Estill County, only 6 miles from a tornado that hit Union City in Madison County. A tornado warning was issued for the first tornado that touched down in parts of Madison County, but for those in Estill County, that warning was not continued. Sean Singer says he was working on a different property when he saw the storm pass into the county.
I was about a mile away from here when it hit. We could hear Madison County real loud, and it did surprise me because we were less than half a mile from our storm speaker, you know.
National Weather Service officials say this tornado was counted as a separate tornado from Union City because it lifted up for more than 2 miles before touching back down again. Of course, we also saw flash flooding issues over the weekend, and we'll have more on that in just a little bit. Well, WYMT and the Kentucky Blood Center are hosting a blood drive today outside the station here in Hazard. That's why Evan is outside tonight. The event began at 3 p.m. and runs until 7, so you still have time to come and donate. They still have slots available. Coordinators with the KBC say nearly 20 people signed up to donate before the blood drive even began. The center is coming off a slower than usual year due to the pandemic, and they say right now donations can mean more than ever.
It's a good thing to do, especially with Western Kentucky, with the tornadoes that's been going on there. I know that the blood center is really low on blood, and I feel like it's something I should do.
Officials with the KBC say that the 15 minutes it takes to draw blood can save up to 3 people's lives. For more information on how to donate, you can visit our website at WYMT.com. And again, our blood drive runs until 7 o'clock. So if you're close by, still time to get out and donate. Well, close to 9,000 people living in Laurel County will be seeing faster broadband and internet service. Connect by Windstream customers will be noticing that change soon. This was made possible as part of a $2 billion initiative to help expand internet service. Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman and several other dignitaries were on hand for today's announcement there in Laurel County. A great way to start the new year. That was the sentiment in Clay County today as state and local leaders announced 2 economic development partnerships. WYMT's Chas Jenkins tells us what those involve.
a partnership between Volunteers of America, Advent Health, and App Harvest.
Locally elected officials coming together. This investment proves that we are committed to creating jobs and opportunity and prosperity all across Kentucky.
With Let Us Grow, which will bring 2 hydroponic farms to the county, and the other bringing a business called Mountain Market to Manchester's Main Street.
For folks to eat, visit, there will be retail, housing, and jobs created there. We are so excited about these 2 new projects.
Bringing more than 25 jobs to the area.
You see the fruit of that labor coming to life right here in Manchester, and the revitalization of downtown, the investment in agri-tech jobs that are going to come right here to this community. This is what this is all about.
All part of the bigger picture of improving the county.
Well, we look at their people, so we want to get into healthcare. Well, we look at their buildings. Well, we want to change the look of those buildings. We want to change the look in totality, and that's what we're doing.
Officials saying this is only the beginning for partnerships.
We go where we're invited. We go because we're needed. We go because we want to collaborate with local leaders, and we will continue to look for ways to do that throughout the Commonwealth.
Bringing growth and opportunity to the mountains. In Clay County, Chaz Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
Hancock says development on the Mountain Market in Manchester should begin in the coming months. During her time in Clay County, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman also announced funding for some road improvements. More than $120,000 will help resurface Sester Hollow Road and Curry Branch Road. The Lieutenant Governor says it's all about making needed improvements across the Commonwealth.
What's really important is that we're focusing on these rural roads in rural parts of the state that need the most attention, really, and investment, and we're committing to make sure that we carry that through.
Additionally, more than $80,000 will help resurface Swindling Hollow Road near Anvil in Jackson County. State lawmakers are heading back to the Capitol for what is expected to be a very busy 60-day stretch starting tomorrow. Last year's priority was stripping the governor of some of his emergency powers for Republicans because of what happened in the early days of the pandemic. But because of the recent tornadoes, some lawmakers say those powers need to be restored. Of course, we'll have coverage of the session as we go along the next few weeks. Well, we shared with you some sad news over the weekend. Martin County Judge Executive William Victor Sloan has died. His funeral services are now set. It will be held Wednesday at 1 p.m. in the chapel of Crum Funeral Home. Friends can visit the funeral home tomorrow from 6 until 9 p.m. Sloan was just appointed Judge Executive on April of 2021 and recently posted that he was not going to run for re-election due to his declining health. Senator Mitch McConnell shared a statement this morning about Sloan saying, quote, "I was saddened to learn of the passing of Martin County Judge Executive Victor Sloan this past weekend. He dedicated his life to public service and his community."
And cold weather continues out here right now. We've got a little bit of a warm up on the way, but more wintry weather's on the way too. I'll have the very latest coming up.